I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. While I was away, Stewart Rhodes got 18 years by a federal judge of seditious conspiracy against the United States of America, an attempt to overthrow America during what was known as the January 6th, what I call the assault on the Temple of Democracy. And he's been given 18 years in prison. Prosecutors want him to have 25 years. Rhodes, I understand, wasn't on the campus the day that the January 6th attack on the assault on the Temple of Democracy, but the prosecutors were able to demonstrate in court that he was integral in terms of planning the event. Now, I have to tell you that I was a member, or I am a member of the Oath Keepers. I don't know if they still accept me. I haven't participated with them in years. They helped me do several major things. The Gettysburg Racial and Healing Reconciliation meeting in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, out that great killing field. And Stewart Rhodes came out to that meeting and spoke. Stewart Rhodes spoke at Gettysburg on behalf of my attempt to reconcile the races. He came and spoke and was very eloquent about the process. The fact that he came. The man's a Harvard graduate. He's a lawyer after he stopped practicing law. And he invited me to speak at a meeting out in Ohio, going back, I don't know, was it 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, maybe, I don't know. And I went out to Ohio, spent a couple of days out there with him, fellowshipping with him. And Stewart Rhodes, for all intents and purposes, everything I know about him, seemed to be, a very gentle spirit. He was very, he didn't seem, I can understand his sense of the American Revolution and what it took to get rid of King George and establish one of the greatest experiments in democracy that the world has ever seen by the Revolutionary War and getting rid of King George and America writing its own constitution. And while I do not support the attack on the Temple of Democracy on the 6th of January, I don't support that at all. In fact, I condemn it. But I'm not prepared to condemn Stewart Rhodes. You say, well, Pastor Man, the courts have demonstrated and proven that he was instrumental in inspiring his group, called the Oath Keepers, to do some pretty major things on that day. All right, okay, you can say that. I understand that. I understand that. But I do want to say, I would be a hypocrite if I didn't tell you that I have an Oath Keepers card in my wallet. I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't tell you that. And, they made me a member, and they have not sent me a letter saying I'm not a member. And I haven't had any meetings with the Oath Keepers in years, but they haven't, defrocked me. They haven't said to me, you're no longer a member. They know I'm a member. Stewart Rhodes knows I'm a member. He's the one that handed me my card and he knows I'm a member. Wasn't done this in the corner somewhere. This was done before a whole group of Oath Keepers. They all know I'm a member. I don't know if they're listening to me right now. But I thought I would be a hypocrite if I did not let you know that. And I myself have not moved away. And I know they said Oath Keepers are violent. I'm not a violent. And I'll say, like some of the others who've said when they were Oath Keepers, that when I joined, going back, 10, 15 years ago, maybe the tenor of the Oath Keepers was something different. I joined because, and I wasn't even, Oath Keepers is you have to have been a military person, police officer, someone who sworn to hold up the oath of the Constitution of the United States of America. But I joined because they came to help me bring black people and white people together and stop all this racial fighting. And they said, okay, as a group, we're going to bring our army to help you unite black people and white people to stop fighting. And I thought that was a noble cause. I can't imagine anything more noble. I'm not a racist. And I'm convinced, the years that I have lived, that there's a large part of America's problem is that the races are constantly fighting one another and everybody's stirring up racism, especially among black people. And I try to this very day, will still try to bring the races together. I'm a man of peace and conciliation between the races, And I'm godly thankful that we have, the largest portion of our church members are Japheth members. The largest portion of our church member right now is Japheth member. In fact, it used to be a lot larger than that. 700 Japheth members left our church going back about 4 years ago. They quit me because I wouldn't support Trump, but they left. But some of them still hang on, and I'm thankful to God that, our church is not a black church, it's not a white church, it's a righteous church. And so I wanted to say that. I wanted to get that off my chest, get it off my heart, let you know that I'm praying for Stewart Rhodes. I'm praying for him, and I want anybody listening to me now, and that Stewart Rhodes, let him know Pastor Manning is praying for him. And I will continue to pray for him. 18 years is a long time to serve in federal prison. When you're in federal prison, you have to do 85% of that. So he'll be up to doing 15 or so years before he can see the light of day, even talk about a parole or some kind of release. But Stewart, I'm praying for you. I'm not, by praying for you, I'm not encouraging or saying I would have participated in the January 6th event. I would not have. In fact, I wouldn't follow Trump anywhere, quite frankly, Stewart Rhodes. I would not. I just ain't for him, and you know that. But because you treated me with great respect, Stewart, you treated me with great respect, and I felt that when I was with you out in Ohio. I felt that when I was with you in Gettysburg. I felt the great respect you had and the love that you had for the people, Hamite people. So I will not disavow that based on the fact that the courts, I believe in our court system, if they found you guilty, well, you can appeal. That's what I say. And if you need me to pray for you, ask me and I'll do that.